Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I regret being unable to join you in person, but I am delighted to have the opportunity to deliver this video message to briefly update you on a topic of direct relevance to OSPAR's mandate. The adoption in 2023 of the landmark BB&J Agreement, the agreement under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, was a significant step towards the conservation and sustainable use of the ocean. In an age where we often hear of the demise of multilateralism, the adoption by consensus of this agreement demonstrates the strength and continued relevance of international organizations, in particular the United Nations, as fora to find solutions to global problems. As representatives of OSPAR contracting parties, with a shared commitment to protecting the world's ocean, I'm sure that you all understand what a milestone event the adoption of this agreement was. This groundbreaking agreement addresses key issues, such as the fair and equitable sharing of benefits from marine genetic resources, the establishment of area-based management tools, including marine protected areas, environmental impact assessments, and capacity building and the transfer of marine technology. A core element of the BB&J agreement and part of its general objective is to further international cooperation and coordination. Parties to the agreement are required to cooperate, including through strengthening and promoting cooperation with and among relevant instruments, frameworks, and bodies. Parties must also endeavour to promote the objectives of the agreement when participating in decision-making under other instruments, frameworks, and bodies. OSPAR contracting parties have already made important strides towards enhanced international cooperation and coordination, in particular with regard to the establishment and management of marine protected areas. Your work towards developing a network of marine protected areas, including in areas beyond national jurisdiction, is a prominent example of these efforts. Working in tandem with relevant instruments, frameworks and bodies, including regional seas organisations such as OSPAR, will be fundamental to achieving the objectives of the BB&J Agreement. It is now critical that the BB&J Agreement becomes effective and fully operational as early as possible. I'm glad to note that on the margins of the third United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice, several states from all regions undertook treaty actions under the BB&J Agreement. They bring us, in total, to 136 signatures and 51 ratifications, including by 50 states and the European Union. At this point, I'm glad to say that only 10 ratifications are needed for the agreement to enter into force. In discharging its mandate to prepare for the entry into force of the agreement and the convening of the first meeting of the Conference of Parties to the agreement, the Preparatory Commission, established by the General Assembly, will consider, at its second session in August, the issue of arrangements to enhance cooperation with relevant instruments, frameworks and bodies. Such arrangements are of critical importance to operationalise the relevant provisions of the agreement effectively, and I encourage OSPAR to contribute to these discussions, given the important role that OSPAR will have to play in the implementation of the agreement. With these words, I wish you a fruitful and productive meeting. Thank you.